Hello everyone. Today we are going to go over a new process that is coming to us from Greensky. It is an update that's going to require a change in our overall operations. So this information is going to be incredibly important, so we want to make sure you take your time and review this information, make sure you understand it properly, and please reach out to your managers if you have any questions. So we are going to go over the overview. So like I mentioned, Greensky is making changes to how financing will be collected. This is going to be effective 8/8, so that is Monday. Greensky payments will now be ran in the Service Titan payments screen. A text message will be sent to customers for funds to be approved. This is a change coming directly from Greensky, so we don't have any control over the change. But this text message that is going to be sent to customers is when we are processing the payment. There will be a text message that will be sent to them that is asking them to authorize the payment to be released to us. So this will be required on any transaction that is happening. So obviously, due to the compliance message, the time of collection and the responsible party for the collection is going to change. Let's go over the current process. So the current process is that the work is completed and the technician does not collect. Dispatch then closes the ticket, finance runs the payment, and the typical time is 1 to 2 business days after the job is completed. The responsible party is the finance team. The new process is going to be that the work gets completed. The technician collects for financing using the application ID from the Greensky form. Dispatch is going to verify that the payment has been processed, and if not, dispatch needs to ensure payment is collected before technician leaves. The new time is going to be at the job completion, and the new responsible party is going to be our field technicians. Who needs to be informed? Well, technicians are going to be responsible for collecting the Greensky payments on site. Field managers are responsible for training the process to any team members and ensuring 100% compliance. Dispatchers are responsible for verifying the Greensky payments and making sure that they're collected by the technicians. Coordinators are responsible for setting clear expectations with customers about the approval process and verifying Greensky payments are collected by technicians. Finance will be responsible for reporting any issues with the updated process. So now we're going to go over the process in more detail and go over the different scenarios that can occur. First scenario is sold for now, or a solo technician situation. This is most common for service teams and sewer teams. So what you guys are going to do is the technician is going to run for the Greensky financing. Once the application is approved, you're going to screenshot the approval page. Once you get the approval page, you're going to fill out the Greensky financing form. In the Greensky financing form, you will put the application ID and the approval picture. At that time, you will let the customer know that a text message is going to be sent while you are trying to process the payment and to allow the funds to be released. You'll then go to the pay screen, select Greensky Direct Funding. You will select full balance, and then you will select the application ID. That is where you will paste over the application ID, and then you will charge the customer. So in this process, since we are financing, doing the work, and collecting all in one day in one visit, this process is going to be done by one person. So to review, you're going to take that screenshot, you upload it into the financing form. When you're done with work, you're going to copy over the application ID, let the customer know about the text message, go over to the pay screen and make sure to collect, and then charge the customer. Now we're going to go into our second situation, which is our sold for later multi-technician situation. This is most common for sales teams. So in this example, I labeled it as Technician A and Technician B, but to make it a little bit more easy, we're going to call Technician A a salesperson and Technician B an installer. So our salesperson runs for the Greensky financing. Once the application is approved, they will fill out the Greensky financing form. They need to attach the approval picture and the application ID. Once these two steps are done, the salesperson is complete with their part of the process. At the time that we're scheduled to return to the job site, the technician will arrive and verify the method of payment with the customer. It's a great time when you're already checking in with the customer to do our normal initial conversation where you're going over the estimated time of completion, that you'll be doing a walkthrough with the customer. This is the time to make sure to mention that when you're collecting for payment, that a text message will be sent. So either you will need the customer to be on site or over the phone available to respond to that text message. From there, you'll do the regular process of going and selecting pay, then selecting Greensky Direct Funding. You'll select full balance. That's when you will copy over the application ID from the form that the sales guy filled out. And then once you select job complete, you will select charge and the customer will be processed. Our final situation are examples of when we have situations that are sold in the office. This is most common for customers calling back in to schedule. So the office employee will be the one that runs the Greensky application with the customer over the phone. They will then inform the customer that the technician will be running the payment, and that at the time a text message will be sent to authorize the payment. And then once they book the job, they're going to fill out the Greensky financing form with the picture and the application ID. Then whoever is going to complete the work will just do the same process that an installer would do, or anybody returning to a pre-sold job. They're going to find that form, locate the form. If anybody is not aware, that is located in history, then previous forms, and that is where you should find the Greensky financing form. You'll copy over the application ID. You'll inform the customer one more time that the text message will be sent, and then you can follow the normal instructions to collect the payment. Okay, so now we're going to go over the mobile walkthrough. So the first part will be the Greensky financing form. Reminder that the pictures that you are attaching are the fully activated accounts. So make sure we still have to activate all of our accounts. And make sure they're activated before posting the picture. And then you will see the application ID in the form section. Then you will go to the pay screen, select Greensky Direct Funding. When you select Greensky Direct Funding, it'll take you to a similar screen that you see when you run for credit cards. That it'll say full balance or enter a different amount, and then below there will be a selection for the application ID. You're going to select that, and then that is where you will paste over the application ID that you have saved in the form. Now, the reason for the form is that it makes the process easier for you guys. I tested this out on the iPad. It's not very easy when you are trying to run to attempt to locate the picture on your iPad and then go to the screen for the payment. So in order to make it easier, that is why we implemented the form. Down the road, ServiceTitan has let us know that they're going to try to integrate with Greensky so that they can pull the application ID automatically. So it is on their list, but it's not a reality right now. That way on the form, you can literally just copy and paste it over instead of trying to look at a picture, get to the payment screen, click back to the picture, back to the payment screen, would be a pretty difficult workflow. And then you select the charge type, which will be job complete. And once you select all those, you will be able to select charge. Now we're going to go over these two buttons right here that you can see: progress payment and job complete. So we will be using the job complete button just about 100% of the time. As far as you guys are aware, you should be using the job complete portion when you are doing the charge type. So make sure when you select application ID, you go down to job complete and then hit charge. So if the ticket is completing, if it's physically completing in our system, then the payment must be collected. Any outlier situations that we may have on the sales install side, or jobs that need to be scheduled out, permits, financing, anything like that, we're going to address those on an as-needed basis. So please see me or finance if you need any help on those certain situations. So for the majority of the time, we will be using the job complete button. So to go over a little bit of the process updates, sales technicians will now need to relay the information that a text message authorization is going to be sent at the time of the completion of work in order to collect. Coordinators will now be explaining about the text message on the call ahead with the customer to remind them at the job completion to collect. Service and install technicians need to continue to remind customers about the text message and make sure that customers are available by phone if they are not present for the completion of the job. This can be very common on the excavation side, so make sure that when you're talking to the customer and setting up expectations for when you guys are going to be complete with the work, that they are aware that they're receiving a phone call from you and need to authorize the payment. We should be treating this essentially the same as someone just not paying us. They need to be made available at a certain time so that we can process the payment. So to summarize, Greensky is now going to be ran in ServiceTitan. It will require an authorization from the customer before releasing funds. Technicians are now required to collect the balance and inform the customer of the process. Dispatchers are now required to ensure the process is followed and collect on any that were missed in real time. So if we are seeing a technician that is not collecting, we need to collect in real time. Coordinators and inside sales are now required to inform the customer of the process upon financing and upon call aheads, so everyone is aware. And to recap with the steps, that you're always going to take a Greensky approval screenshot. You will always fill out a Greensky financing form. If you are completing all of the work by yourself, then you'll move through these steps and charge the customer. If you are returning to work that was pre-sold either for you by a salesperson or from the office, your workflow is going to be locating that form that was already filled out for you, copying over the application ID, reminding the customer about the text message, and then processing the payment to charge. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to your managers first. If they have any follow-up questions beyond that, we'll make sure to get those handled for you. Thank you.